I crashed, the bike went flying into the crowd, and I was kind of sad because remember I hit Charles Schultz's grandson with my bike. Pretty tragic just seeing that, but then whenever I looked down I saw my leg bent backwards, and I blew my ACL and PCL out and had to get cadaver ligaments for both of them, and it took a year for it to heal enough to ride. And went out there and, of course, blew them apart the first day and snapped my ACL. So I found this synthetic experimental ACL surgery that they were doing in Dijon, France, where you could be back in action in a week versus a year. So I tracked down the doctor. He told me that he could do the surgery in Canada and take advantage of the French-Canadian treaty. Because it wasn't like a legit medical procedure, he insisted to be paid in cash, and so I had to travel with a suitcase full of 10 grand, go to this hotel. The doctor meets me in my room. I have to pay him before the surgery. I wondered why it wasn't legal in the U.S. because athletes on a larger caliber, it costs them so much money to skip games and stuff, and they could be back in a week. And so I was curious, and he said the one thing the FDA did agree on is that anesthesia is more dangerous than this actual surgery. And if someone could do it without anesthesia, then that could be a good case to resubmit it to the FDA and get it sanctioned and approved. At first I was like, well, I could save some money. But then I was like, I wonder, I've never stayed awake during a surgery, and I just kind of got morbidly curious on what it would be like to see if I could take that pain. And the doctor seemed real confident I could do it. And so they give me a local to cut the skin. So I didn't feel the skin being cut. And then he's like, we can't numb the bone at all by a local because it just doesn't work, so you're going to feel this. And I guess he didn't have enough assistance, and so he asked me to help stabilize the drill. He starts drilling. So I just had to grab a hold of the bed, grip as hard as I could, and just kind of concentrate on that before it broke through the first layer of bone. And once it got into the marrow, it was kind of more of a deep pain, like a bone break, that you can kind of manage more. So I just had to put myself in another place that was okay, that pain was okay. And wow, that's what your bone smells like, it's burning. And then I looked down and I saw all this like yellow kind of corned beef hash looking substance coming out of my leg. And then he detaches the drill bit. He threads the ligament through the center of the drill bit, polyester strings hanging out each side. Then he has to screw both of them in. So the surgery seems to be over because I see everybody kind of breaking down the instruments around me and cleaning up the blankets and the blood. And the doctors start leaving, the nurses start leaving, and I was just like, is it okay to go? And they're like, yeah. So I get up, I stand on my leg, and I was just kind of surprised that I could even walk on it. Went out to the curb, jumped in this dirty cab. 20 minutes ago, I was in a hospital helping drill my own bone, and now I'm in a hotel watching pay-per-view. After a few days, the pain and the swelling starts setting in. I don't have any pain pills or crutches, so I have to come up with creative ways to get out of bed and go to the bathroom and just get around. So I get home, I just had ACL surgery, and a week later, I'm riding. After all that, the FDA still was like, sorry, that ain't happening. Just because you got one sucker to do this surgery without anesthetics doesn't really prove anything to us. So. Now I had the original surgery done out of the country, so now all my other surgeries I've had on this knee to replace that ligament doesn't have to go through FDA because it's repair work and it's not original surgery. So it's still, I guess, still worked out for the better.